As we age, the things that hold us back often aren't what we expect. In fact, it's often about what we let go of. Over the years, we accumulate so much physical items, habits, beliefs that no longer serve us. These things may have once been helpful, but now they can weigh us down. And by the time we reach our 70s, some of these things are not just unnecessary, they become burdens. These burdens affect our mood, our health, our relationships, and even our ability to truly enjoy life in the present moment. But this video is not about cleaning out your garage or organizing your closet, although we will touch on that. It's about something much deeper. There are 7 things that many people unknowingly carry into their later years, and these things are silently costing them joy and peace. Once you let go of them, you won't feel like you're losing anything. Instead, you'll feel the freedom to truly embrace the years ahead. These aren't just abstract suggestions. They are based on real-life experiences and patterns seen in older adults, those who thrive in their later years, and those who struggle. As simple as these 7 things may sound, letting go of just one of them can have a life-changing impact. So, if you're over 70 or nearing that milestone and you feel stuck, tired, or just not as light in spirit as you once were, this video may offer the exact advice you need. Let's dive in and explore these 7 things to let go of after 70, and why doing so might be the best gift you ever give yourself. Stick with me until the end, because the final thing we'll talk about is one that brings profound peace once it's released, something most people rarely discuss. 1. The guilt of saying no. As we move through life, time, energy, and peace become more precious, more valuable than ever. When you reach 70, it's time to stop apologizing for protecting these resources. Yet, so many older adults still carry a quiet burden every time they turn down a request, cancel plan, or simply choose rest over obligation. That burden is guilt. And if you're looking for more freedom in your later years, it's time to throw that guilt away. Now, this doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means becoming selective. It means finally giving yourself permission to prioritize what truly matters to you, without feeling the need to explain yourself. For decades, many of us, especially those who raise families, build careers, or care for others, have been conditioned to say yes out of duty, politeness, or fear of disappointing someone. But at this stage in your life, you've earned the right to honor your boundaries. Take Carol, for example. She's 74, and after her husband passed away, she found herself being pulled into every church event, family gathering, and neighborhood committee, not because she wanted to, but because she didn't want to seem ungrateful. She said yes to everything, even when it left her exhausted. It wasn't until she quietly declined a weekend trip, choosing to spend that time painting alone in her kitchen, something she hadn't done in years, that she realized how little space she had left for her own joy. Saying no isn't rejecting others. It's recognizing yourself. And in truth, most people will understand far more than we give them credit for. When you say no with kindness and clarity, you're not pushing people away. You're setting the terms for more honest, meaningful connections. You're showing them what you truly need to stay healthy, peaceful, and present. This boundary setting also teaches the next generation something crucial. When your children or grandchildren see you taking care of your time and energy, they learn that it's okay to do the same. They learn that life after 70 doesn't have to be about constant obligation. It can be about intentional living. Yes, there will still be moments when you want to say yes, and when you do, it will be from a genuine place, not from guilt or pressure. That's the beauty of learning to say no without shame. It makes your yes far more meaningful. If you've been carrying the guilt of saying no, it's time to let it go. You spent enough years meeting everyone else's needs. This chapter is about meeting your own, and trust that those who care about you will understand. 2. Outdated medical supplies and prescriptions. It's easy to overlook, isn't it? The old pill bottles, expired ointments, leftover antibiotics, half-used prescriptions, hidden in bathroom drawers, kitchen cabinets, or hallway closets. They seem harmless, just sitting there, but holding on to outdated medical supplies after 70 can actually pose real risks to your health. Clearing them out isn't just about tidying up. It's about protecting yourself and giving your mind peace. When medications expire, they don't always lose their potency in predictable ways. Some become less effective, while others degrade and can even become harmful. And even if they're still safe, Taking the wrong dose or confusing one medication for another can lead to serious side effects, especially if you're managing multiple health conditions. At this stage in life, even a small mix-up can have big consequences. Consider Bill, for instance. At 81, he had a history of heart issues. One afternoon, he grabbed what he thought was his blood pressure medication, but it turned out to be an old prescription for pain management, left in the same container. It wasn't intentional. It was just a simple mistake, packaging, labeling, and a bit of mental fatigue. The result? A trip to the emergency room. Something that could have been avoided if he had cleared out the expired meds years ago. And it's not just prescriptions. Think about old thermometers that no longer work properly, bandages with no adhesive, creams that have long passed their shelf life, even supplements you no longer take, but still store out of habit. These items clutter your space and complicate your decisions, especially when you're not feeling well. In those moments, you need clarity, not confusion. The solution is simple but powerful. Go through your cabinets, check the expiration dates, and safely dispose of anything that's expired. If something's unlabeled or unclear, don't risk it. If you haven't used it in over a year and don't plan to again, let it go. Keep only what's current, clearly labeled, and relevant to your ongoing care. Not only will this bring you a sense of calm, but will also bring peace of mind to your loved ones. If they ever need to step in and help with your medications, they'll know they're working with accurate, up-to-date information. This is more than just responsible. It's a gift to yourself and those who care about you. Let's explore some things that may hold us back as we age and how we can overcome them to embrace the fullness of our later years. Number 3, negative self-talk. Imagine this. You wouldn't let a stranger step into your living room and insult you day after day. But for many people, after the age of 70, a quiet, persistent voice inside does exactly that. It has been with you for years, telling you things like, "You're too old to try that," or "You've made too many mistakes." It might even whisper, "No one really needs you anymore." This voice isn't wise. It's not offering guidance or helping you grow. It's negative self-talk. And if you want to feel lighter, freer, and more alive in this chapter of life, it's time to silence that voice. This voice often takes root over time. Sometimes it begins in childhood, shaped by harsh words or impossible expectations. Other times, it comes from past failures or regrets we never truly let go of. Often, it's reinforced by a culture that whispers, "You're past your prime once you reach a certain age." But here's the truth. Just because a thought shows up doesn't mean it's true. Just because you've thought it 100 times doesn't mean you have to keep thinking it. You've lived long enough to know that growth doesn't stop at 30, 50, or even 80. Every year brings a new form of becoming. Yet, negative self-talk robs you of seeing that. It steals your motivation, your joy, and isolates you by convincing you that your struggles are signs of failure, rather than part of being human. Take Edna, for example. At 78, she always wanted to learn the piano, but every time she looked at keyboard, that voice told her, "You'll never be good at this. It's too late to start." For years, she believed it. But when her 10-year-old granddaughter asked her to learn a song with her, they started slow, one note at a time. Now, they play together every Sunday. Not because Edna silenced that voice once and for all, but because she stopped letting it control her decisions. The first step in getting rid of negative self-talk is noticing it. Ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? Would I say this to my best friend? If the answer is no, then why say it to yourself? Replace it with truth. I've made it through tough times before. I bring value. Even if I move slower now, I still have things to give, learn, and enjoy. Also, consider the people around you. If they reinforce those negative beliefs, gently question whether they need to stay in your life. Protecting your mind is just as important as protecting your body. You've spent years becoming who you are. Every wrinkle, every scar, and every story along the way holds value. Your inner dialogue should reflect that. It should honor the strength, wisdom, and resilience that come from living a real life, not a perfect one. So, the next time that voice tells you you're too old, too slow, or too late, talk back. Remind yourself that you're still here, still growing, still becoming. The best version of you isn't behind you. It's still unfolding one choice at a time. Number 4, clutter that ties you to the past. There's nothing wrong with holding on to a few precious things. A sweater with the scent of a loved one, a favorite book, a photograph that speaks more than words ever could. These items aren't clutter. They're memory keepers. But over time, it's easy to accumulate more than we realize. Closets fill with clothes that haven't been worn in decades. Cabinets overflow with dishes saved for a holiday that may never come. The basement becomes a museum of old electronics or hobbies long forgotten. Before you know it, you're not preserving your past. You're trapped in it. At first, you might not even notice it. But clutter takes up more than just physical space. It takes up space in your mind. It weighs you down, making it harder to move freely, think clearly, and breathe easily. Each drawer you open, each shelf you dust, reminds you not just of what was, but of all the decisions you postponed. Should I keep this? What if I need it? What if someone else wants it? These questions become emotional quicksand, pulling you back again and again. Consider Leonard, 80 years old, who kept every tool he ever owned in a shed behind his house. Some were rusted. Others hadn't been touched since the 90s. They reminded him of his working days, of building a garage with his brother, and the pride of fixing things himself. Letting go felt like letting go of his identity. But when his grandson asked to help clean out the shed, Leonard went through every drawer with him. He told stories, passed down a few favorite tools, and let the rest go. What remained wasn't just a cleaner space, but a sense of peace and a new kind of connection. Letting go of physical clutter doesn't erase your history. It curates it. It's about choosing what truly reflects who you are now and who you want to become. And when you clear that space, something else emerges. Energy, focus, even joy. You're no longer fighting to the noise of the past to find your way forward. Start small. Ask yourself, do I use this? Do I love this? Does this help me today? If the answer is no, you're not throwing it away. You're releasing it. You're making space for the life you have now. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Going through old belongings with a friend or loved one often turns into something more meaningful than you expect. It becomes a moment of sharing, remembering, and honoring the past without carrying it all alone. Let your space reflect your present, not just your past. Every day you wake up is a chance to live more freely, intentionally, and lightly. And it all starts with choosing what to keep and what to let go. If you found these insights valuable, please leave a comment with number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires and informs. Number 5, the belief that new friendships aren't possible. Somewhere along the way, many of us start to believe that friendship is something that only happens in youth, that after a certain age, it's just too hard to make new connections. The people you once knew have moved away, passed on, or drifted out of reach. Your routines have changed, your circles have shrunk, and before long, the voice in your head starts saying, it's too late now. But that belief that new friendships aren't possible is one of the most damaging things to carry with you after 70. And it's time to let it go. The truth is, loneliness isn't a natural part of aging. It's a signal, a call from your spirit that connection still matters. Your heart hasn't retired just because your career has. Your need for laughter, for sharing stories, for being seen and heard, that hasn't disappeared with the passing years. It's still alive, and it's still possible to meet someone new who makes you feel understood. It may not look the same as it did when you were 20, but you can connect over common interests, gardening, books, grief, shared experiences. You might find a friend in someone who sits next to you at the community center or in a neighbor you've only waved at before. It may take time, but every friendship begins with a small moment of openness. Take Paul, 75. After his wife passed away, he moved to a new town. He didn't know anyone and barely left the house, except for groceries. Then one day, he signed up for a weekly watercolor class at the library, not because he loved painting, but because he needed to be around people. It's there that he met Judith, who had also lost her spouse. They shared rides, then coffee, then pieces of their stories. Slowly, the ache of loneliness began to soften. Making new friends in later years isn't easy. Vulnerability feels harder with age. You carry more memories, more losses, and more self-doubt. But you also carry more wisdom, patience, and more to offer than you realize. You have stories someone else is waiting to hear. You have kindness someone else needs. You have humor, insight, and a presence that can brighten someone's life. So, don't let the past convince you that connection's behind you. Don't let fear stop you from reaching out. There are people out there who will meet you right where you are. No performance required. No pretending. Just your real, honest self. Throw away the belief that friendship is something you grow out of. Because the truth is, friendship is something you grow into deeper, slower, and richer with every year you live. And sometimes, the most meaningful bonds are the ones you never expected, formed at a time when you thought your heart had already learned all it could. I hope these thoughts resonate with you. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps us grow and reflect. We are all in this journey together.